Aftermarket accessories. There's so many, and it's confusing sometimes. So I'm gonna give you guys some ideas on which you should get, which you should stay away from, and especially when you first get your bike. In case you guys don't know me, my name is Mr. K. My wife and I do videos on this channel. Her name is Mrs. K. Sometimes there's dual vlogs, sometimes it's just me, sometimes it's just her. So that's what you guys are gonna get. We discuss basically motorcycles, just being silly, just having fun, and well, making a journal of how we ride. Ultimately, we just love, ride, and explore. If you guys want to see more of these kind of videos, if you guys want to see what kind of stuff we do, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell, and making sure your notifications are up. Let's get the intro started, and we're going to get into the video. Alright, let's do it. While you were watching that intro, I got the bike started, put it in gear, and now we're vlogging. Alright, motorcycle accessories. Let's talk a little bit about motorcycle accessories. And if you haven't seen my last video, I was talking about squidding. This is basically a continuation from that because today is the only day I can record. So, let's talk a little bit about some of the key things that you should think about putting on your bike and some of the key things that you shouldn't. But I highly encourage all of you, comment in the comment section below. Tell me what kind of stuff you put on your bike and why. And then at the same time, tell me what kind of stuff you put on the bike that you wish you wouldn't have, and what kind of stuff you wish you would have that you have not yet put on there. Okay, here's my thing. The very first thing I say on every bike, put on frame sliders. Man, you guys need to put on frame sliders. You never know, okay? And make sure you don't get like some cheap, Wish Wish frame sliders. I would not personally do that if I were you, but that's your call. But I would definitely put on frame sliders. It's gonna help you if you just lay the bike down or whatever. Ultimately, it does make a difference. You want to protect your baby. You bought your bike. You never know, and it's good to have the frame sliders. You can replace a mirror, no problem, but replacing fairings or anything else, it's gonna be one heck of a expense that you probably don't want to incur. With that out of the way, I think the next one that I highly recommend to a lot of, when it comes to motorcycles, I don't know, maybe this is just my opinion, but Fender Eliminators, I'm a huge fan of getting rid of the Fender Eliminator, putting on Fender Eliminators, mainly because I cannot stand that elephant nose over there that all motorcycles come with. And in all fairness, I know that there's a reason for him. Oh my gosh, when did they put this building up? What the heck? I was just here like a little while ago. I didn't even... Okay, I have no idea what's going on, man. That building, I'm telling you, wasn't there like a week ago. Anyway, so... Fender Eliminator kits, yeah, I would definitely put them on. Mainly because, like, having that weird look on the back of your beautiful bike, it's just... I don't know, I don't like it. I know there's a reason for it. However, I highly encourage you guys that if you are going to put Fender Eliminators, you do it the legal way. So, there's nothing wrong with changing it as long as you're going to do it the legal way, okay? Make sure you have your the light over your license plate. That is absolutely a requirement. Make sure you have, your signal lights apart in each place, at least depending on where you live and what your local laws are, wherever you register your bike. Find out what is the legal distance between the actual signal lights. Just do that. Like as long as you follow those little few steps, you can still do the Fender Eliminator. Nobody's stopping you. It's just a question of making sure you do it within, the rules and regulations. Okay, my number 3 that I think you should do, in my opinion, is... Well, okay, this one is a bit of a questionable thing. So, as a lot of the OGs on this channel know, I don't want to carry a pillion with me ever. You're not getting a ride on this bike ever. I don't care who you are. And that's because it's my bike. I want to sit on it, and I don't feel like I need to I don't want to be responsible for anybody on the back of my bike, basically. That's just the way it is, okay? Or maybe I'm just chicken to do it. So if that's the case, maybe that's just what it is. But it is what it is. So if you're doing that, then you can actually get your back seats, eliminate the back seat completely. That's what I did, and if your bike can actually do it, because I know Mrs. K's bike, you can't do it on her bike. but on my bike I could. So we did it on Ninja 300s too. So the seat cowls, I loved it. I recommend that only if you don't want to take pillions with you. If you want to take pillions with you, obviously that's not a good recommendation for you. The next thing for me that's a big one. Now this obviously all of this depends on the bike you're getting, but the big one for me is aftermarket levers. I use pezzo levers just because they're adjustable. I can adjust it for my fit. I highly recommend aftermarket levers. I just can't tell you how much of a difference it makes when I can adjust every little thing, my clutch, my brake, and I really do have a better feel overall when it comes to my bike. And it's just nice to customize the bike that way. Let's talk about some of the things that I don't think are required or not even necessary for that matter. And the very first one, this is where I'm going to lose a lot of you. This is where my audience retention is going to go down, because basically you guys will disagree with me on this, and then we can, I'll just lose subscribers, because I'm going to tell you, do not put aftermarket exhaust. There's really absolutely no darn good reason for it. And what I mean by no good reason for it is, frankly, I just don't see it. Like, you see, here's the thing. There's a lot of engineering that goes into those exhausts, and they are there for a reason, okay? Now, why would you do it? Well, majority of the people, including myself, because I was silly, paid a ton of money. I believe mine cost me about $1,000 for installed. So basically, I'm using Yoshimura Alpha exhaust. Beautiful, I mean, great looking exhaust. It's just loud as balls, and I really, whatever. I should have just kept my original exhaust on there. That was not actually looked pretty nice too, the original. But anyway, the point is that when it comes to exhaust, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't spend the money on it. Now, if you're thinking about just like a little slip-on, sure, I guess you can do that for the sound. A lot of you, if you're gonna want a lot of sound, they'd be obnoxious. Hey, you know what? That's part of it. We did it on our Ninja 300s. I did it on this bike. Mrs. K right now is riding a 0, so that thing is whisper quiet, which is really beautiful, by the way. Every time I ride her bike, it's just peaceful. So, no aftermarket exhaust. I don't recommend it. Okay. The other thing I don't recommend a lot of you guys do. I see this done quite a bit. You guys start messing with, messing around with the computers. You're trying to make your bike something that it's not. If you wanted a, more powerful bike, go out there and buy a more powerful bike. And if you can't afford it, then save up for it and you'll buy it eventually. Stop trying to make a Ninja 300 into something that it's not, right? Ultimately, don't keep messing with the bikes where they're not needed. Now, the other thing I see people is putting on like gold chains. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're doing color matches on the bike and all that stuff, ultimately, man, it's just not worth the money, because you're never going to get that money back. Any modification you make to the bike, odds are it's going to be a total loss for you. It's just not worth all that money that you're going to put in for 2 years that you're going to keep the bike, or 3 years. You're going to put a couple of, let's say you only put like $1,000 or $2,000 into the bike. You're never going to recover that, and the depreciation of the bike ultimately is you're just losing more money. Now, if it's a long-term bike, if you're going to hold on to it for a long time, sure, I guess you can customize it, you can do whatever. Just remember that when it comes to reselling the bike, just because you love the way the bike looks, it doesn't mean that someone else will. So I think anything to do with, how the bike looks outside of the standard, that's going to be of a personal taste. Just try and stay away from it. But with that said, I customize my bike a little bit just on how it looks. So it is what it is. You guys do you. I always say that. But I just don't recommend it, not for resale value. And finally, hey, look at that. How's it going, buddy? Oh, that's awesome. And finally, my biggest advice to you guys, do not put pointy stuff on your bike, okay? I see things that people put on their wheels and end of their bars, and it just looks like a freaking bullet. Okay, man, that something happens, that bike falls on you, that's gonna impale you, man. Like, I don't know why that's a thing. Like, all these little, bar ends with like sharp. It looks like a freaking arrow. Don't do that. That thing is gonna, it's not gonna end good for you if that thing lands on you, man. So ultimately, I see that a lot of the stuff. You know, I just don't think people should be playing around with that kind of stuff. So yeah, don't do that. Just you know, try and do things that make sense for you. Like if you want to change your mirrors because you know you can't see out of your mirrors, go ahead. You know, I see bar end mirrors. Realistically, I've never used them, so I don't want to talk about it because I actually don't know if they work well. But I love my mirrors the way they are on my bike. For aesthetically, I don't like them, but realistically speaking, they do the job. So yeah, it is what it is. But those are just my ideas. But you know what? You know what? You guys can tell me what you guys think. You guys can tell me what your opinions are. Don't fight in the comments section, alright? All I need you guys to do is just give me your opinion. Let's have a little conversation, and then we're going to take it from there. With all that said, once again, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell, and turning on your notification if you guys like this video, because then you're not going to miss the next videos coming out. We upload on this channel 2 times a week, sometimes 3 if there's a bonus video. So that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope to see you guys in the comment section. Ride safe, everyone. Bye-bye.